honest insights right here.
Welcome back to Indie Housing Market. I'm Kyle Morris with Morris Property Group and FC Tucker.
And I'm Shelly Walters with the Shelly Walters Realty Group and FC Tucker.
And today we have back on, honestly, I think you're our biggest repeat guest. I freaking
We
love
love
it.
having you on,
Is
Ryan.
it the third time I think I've been on?
We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Ryan Foxworthy, I'll allow you to introduce yourself.
Yep, Ryan Foxworthy with FC Tucker.
That's right. I don't know. You started a little bit after me, right? I think what year did you start?
2019.
2000, so just a little bit after me. I feel like our careers have kind of been similarly aligned. We've always kind of been in concentric circles and all this other stuff. And you and I just talk here and there and kind of vent and talk about what's going on in the market, man. And it's always interesting, I think, because you are kind of in a similar boat to me as far as what you do, kind of volume wise and how much you guys do and everything, but it's just you. So in my opinion, it's very interesting to have a solo agent on who produces a significant amount, because both she and I have teams, regardless of how much I do or how much you do. I do have a little bit of a luxury with being able to spread some things, and I get to find out a little bit of things that I wouldn't because of just the volume play. Mm-hmm. But you still experience it. If anything, I would argue it's tougher for you because you don't have an outlet the way I do or the way she does. If I take a vacation, I just set somebody up on my team who becomes the primary on it, and obviously I'm involved in the group text, but only if it's an offer, does it escalate to me or something of that nature. You don't have that luxury.
I don't.
What do you do? Do you never go on a vacation?
Well, I feel like I never go on vacation. But I've got, at my office, the Meridian North office, I've got some agents that...
You lean on each other.
We lean on each other quite a bit. So if I'm out of town, there's two people that I'll usually have show houses for me.
Who is it? I'm just curious. Let's give him a shout out.
So Joe Klein is one of them. Phil Clem is another one.
Yeah.
In the North office, and Christy Gaynor.
That's nice.
Nice.
We have at Northside my board that I'm on the board for. We are doing Is It Time? And I think and you're going to be on the panel for that, talking about is it time for the next step. He just got his first transaction coordinator, and he's going to say about why he waited so long.
Yeah. First one.
Do you have a TC or assistant?
Mm-mm.
I got a transaction coordinator and an assistant back in end of April, beginning of May.
I mean, it's in the future for me.
So
right? I'm so organized, and I'm not saying that you guys aren't, but I'm so organized with my stuff that I can get paperwork done and very quickly.
That's good. That's a different mindset than some people. Are you?
I was the same way. I struggled with it because I can get it done. It's not that heavy of a lift for me.
Right.
It became such a volume situation that yes, I could get it done, but was I losing time elsewhere? Mm-hmm. And so I was a little afraid of it because, when people would talk to me about it, I said, my concern isn't that it will give me more free time. My concern is it will give me more time to do more. Yeah. And it's been insanely beneficial, but that is the reality. Is what happened is actually I'm doing, we're up 20% as a result because I have more time, which means I'm to call for what is some of the phone calls aren't falling through the cracks, some of the follow through isn't falling through the cracks, some of the meetups and stuff aren't falling through the cracks.
Well,
and
pushing
it created
paper
more time to do
is
more.
Something that they say pushing paper is not making you money, right? It's not giving you more clientele. It's not giving you more appointments because you're pushing paper and your head's down into the paper. So if you get rid of the ability or take that ability away and put it to somebody else, you can now get on the phone more, be out on appointments more. So that's
I was afraid I was going to lose control.
Right.
But can you do more?
I wasn't going to know everything.
Yeah.
And as a I feel very responsible for a transaction, and I've actually been able to stay. But not whether you do it or don't, but it's been interesting for me to go through it.
Well, I think with me too, I'm a very impatient person. Mm-hmm. And if I'm asking a TC or an admin to do something and it's not done quickly I like to get it done, I'm going to turn into a bad boss, and I don't want to do that.
Or you're I'll just do it myself. It didn't get done in time.
Keep in mind too, you're doing what, 60, 70 transactions a year for your team?
Our team, we do about 110.
110, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm doing 20 a year, that's an amazing year for me, right?
But
so my price point's at 600. My average price.
Yeah, your price
right?
point's
so
a little higher.
it's not I've got 15 deals going on at once. It's very easy for me to keep everything aligned. But I know I hope I'm going to get to a point.
There is a tipping point.
There's got to be. If I'm doing Lauren type numbers at 20 million as a solo agent, I know I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah,
right? I'm going to have to get somebody to help out.
Mainly just because it became where I am impatient and somebody else could have gotten it done quicker than me. So like I've been like out showing houses and the phone call to the title rep, or I need to do a follow-up email or anything that I am driving, so I can't pull up my laptop to do it. I can make a phone call and it gets done. So it's been interesting. Like I have found there's some things that actually get done a little bit quicker because.
How'd you find your TC?
Laura Turner.
Oh.
Is Laura's.
Wait, when she was on the show, she mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and somebody had been trying to connect me with her since like Angel. That was our managing broker here, and now is like the regional VP. She had pushed her on me like the previous November, and I like when I went to go email her after Laura was on, I was like, oh crap, I've already. I was supposed to meet with this girl like 8 months ago.
Motion. Well, like you're saying in regards to being in the car. So like I'll it just pops in your head, right? You're in the car, so instead of like having to write down or do that or picking up the phone, I just text Raquel and I'm like, oh, we need to set closing, or I just text her all these little tidbits. Like they don't make any sense of why they just come out of my head, and then I just get it off my plate, right? So that I can keep moving forward. But a lot of it has to do with the closings as they're, like the next step. Mm-hmm. That's where I find it's very helpful to make sure that I'm not missing a beat, because I live in my car or I'm at an appointment and then I can't get to anything really till like 5 or 6 or 7 at night. Now everybody's closed, right? Yeah. So that's where it really helps me to have Raquel or just literally going, who's the title company on that? Yeah. Because you can't keep track with all of them or whatever. And
or schedule it. And you'll get to the point. Closing, and honestly, I think part of it will be just you wanting to get your life back a little bit. For me, the tipping point though was I lost $4 million in business twice this year.
Why? Just because
I didn't follow up.
Oh.
Yep. And like I
But is your TC going to be? So you're saying with the TC you'll have more time to do the follow-ups?
Correct.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yep. Because I was so in the transaction, I was like, oh, I'll call you back, and this like, I'm like, oh, I need to call so and so today. I told him yesterday I would follow up, and then I get 10 fires I have to put out, and it just would slip.
And then it's the next day, and then it's the next day. Well, that's the AI assistant that everybody's talking about. I wish I could figure out that, because everybody talks about that. And I know we did have a thing where somebody's explaining follow-up boss, which can handle stuff like that. And I haven't gotten into something like that, because follow-up is huge. Like I'm still old-fashioned where I've got a pile of papers of everybody I need to follow up with. So when I sit at my desk, I'm like, oh, yeah, and I'm doing that. But if I could get to the point where I could learn this AI, or having it not do it for you, but remind you, or how that could, somebody please help me on where that product is and easily implemented by me. I don't know if we're
Claude.
there. You can do it with Claude.
Claude's something that you can take advantage of with that.
So AI is interesting, and we were talking about that before, and it's like we could just segue into that. So, I have a buddy, they do awnings, and like he has found a way that AI has helped him with drawings, renderings, pricing. Not only that, they can tell you if there's a 5% tariff, what their materials need to go up, all of this stuff, which just saves time. And then if you save time, you can do more volume, and then everybody makes more money. You have better quality control, all this other stuff. So I think that
you have better service.
So like, how do we apply it in this industry? And I think all of us know, man, people have been trying to cram AI down my throat for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And I have struggled. I feel like they're trying to sell me on an application that I don't need it for. I think it's useful in our industry. I'm still trying to figure out how, right? And so we were talking about photos. I'd like to talk about the photos thing, but
AI photos, please.
I see stuff that people are using AI for.
Don't.
Please don't.
Yeah. Even though MyBor says that you can mark it's virtually altered, nobody's even seeing that.
Well, can the consumer see that? If they were to look on Zillow, Realtor.com, blah, blah, because the consumers don't, regardless of how much we want to say they use MyBor, they don't. Like what they do is they see it in their email, and then they pull it up on a different platform because they use it in a mobile application, and we don't have a good mobile application for the BLC anymore. And so it's more client friendly, and that's what gets sent out. And I don't think those notes show up in Zillow.
I don't think they.
Realtor.
Yeah, I don't know if they do
Redfin,
or not. But
whatever.
People aren't looking at that, right? They're looking at the pictures and they're flipping through the pictures really fast, and they're like, "Oh, that's AI altered or whatever." But if they pull up, so we'll tell the story of Raquel found on a social media where there was a listing that had this whole front of the house looking like this with flowers and all nice, and then the people drove an hour to go see that house and pulled up, and the house looked like it was completely run down, no flowers, no landscaping, dirt in the yard,
and then house next door was a different color.
Just like, so
false
much
advertising.
false, and they were so mad, and then plastered it over social media that, this agent, but I mean, it's not true marketing if that's what the house looks like when you pull up. And you had said explain what you said more about when, make it, do it yourself, do it.
I mean, I'm every listing of mine, I'm pushing for staging.
Yep.
I don't like, I mean, I don't remember the last time I had a vacant listing.
Yeah.
Even if that means me putting my own money into the staging. Like, I'm the type, and I think we've talked about this before, like, I will spend my own money on helping stage a home or whatever the case may be to make the house look better versus go and spend money on postcards for farming and
Or the virtual staging.
the virtual staging
That's
to me
so
is
silly.
It doesn't
work.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't make you feel good when you walk in the house.
You walk in the door and it's not staged.
I mean, my listings, I've been very fortunate where they usually sell pretty quickly because my sellers are willing to invest in the property. And I'm willing to invest in the property to get it done.
Well, the stats show staging is a quicker sale with more money, period.
100%.
But what you run into is I'll get the agent who says, well, on this one property, it worked because it sold whatever. I think you have to be working with enough buyers to see how it goes when you show that property, if that makes sense. I don't think as the list agent you can really quantify whether it works or doesn't. I think only as a buyer rep, you know what I mean?
Well, you know what I tell my sellers? When you go into a model home, is it staged or is it not staged?
Oh my, they spend hundreds
But
of thousands.
but look at when people walk into model homes, they're like, I want to buy this one.
Right.
I want to buy this model home.
And why do they do it?
Because the staging looks so darn good.
And it works.
Right?
And that's why they
100%
do it. If
works.
these builders are doing it. Well, you had said something how you feel about Twilight pictures.
So, well, Patrick Tombarello, who I love to death, he's been on here, man. I look up to him. He's him, his dad, their team. Like, I think they're all stars. They're like what I aspire to be, right? And he had told me that he has really leaned into Twilight photos over the past. I think he even said it on the podcast. I'm not trying to give away his secrets or anything, but he's leaned into it, and like, there's numbers behind it that like. People like it. It creates an emotional appeal, if that makes sense. It draws the eye, like all of these things that help consumer engagement to get you from photo to front door, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, how do I get you from a photo to the front door? And so, like, but that's what happened with this one property that we're talking about with the flowers and everything. And I would really have to talk to either Zach or Shelly Specchio or somebody to find out where that falls within our guidelines, because you are not allowed to characteristically alter a property. But like, is that really doing it? Because it's the land. It can be done. You're not changing a condition of something. Like, you got to think, when I was newer in this, we used to talk about, like, we had like a really bad drought for a couple of years, and people were like talking about spray painting freaking grass and stuff.
I think some
Like, it was
people still do that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they
yeah.
still, like, you just, make the
I don't
grass
think
look
it's not
greener.
allowed, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's like saying you can't do virtual staging. Isn't it kind of the same
Right.
thing?
Well, and I think
Right.
my board, the only way they covered it was to say that you just mark it virtually altered is what I think they say.
But at what point, like, I have this weird threshold of where I'm representing my client and disservicing my industry and the consumers as a broad whole. And I don't have that answer. Like, I just don't, right? Because consumers will catch on and they're going to be shitty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine.
Especially when you drive an hour to see a house that looks like this, and then it looks, actually, it's way worse. But on the Twilights, I'll go back to, as I want to say, is the virtual Twilights, I can't stand. It's the pink skies and the weird
can't
lighting.
tell.
Oh, I
I
can.
can't tell.
I don't like virtual. It's like, if you're going to do it, but the photographers charge like
But
$250.
That's exactly what I was going to say, though. So I've had photographers do the virtual or the Twilight photos, and it was like anywhere from $100 to $150 a pop.
Crazy.
And I was like, so I literally took the photos of the front of the house and even of the back, and just put them into Chat GPT and said, turn this into a Twilight
Well, that's
photo.
what they do.
And
If
my sellers love
Yeah.
it.
Does it add uplighting though? Landscaping uplighting and
You
stuff?
could probably tell it to.
You can tell
But
it
is
to.
that allowed? That's what
If they don't exist, I would say no, because I'm going to buy that house because I've always wanted uplighting on my house. And if I go in and see that and it doesn't exist, I'll answer the question for you. What I feel like on some of these changes is if I see uplighting in the picture, I'm going to put it in the purchase agreement. I want that uplighting that I saw. I didn't go look in the yard to see if it was there. But if I see it in the pictures, it's like I have the opinion too. If I go into a laundry room and they photoshopped a sink into it, like saying this is what you could do because it's plumbed, I'm like, I want the sink. Because I think that's where you could give a disservice to the seller is like, you're saying all this stuff is in the house because I see it, and then it's not. Even though I walked through the house, I don't know. That's where I'm kind of wondering.
This is why you're you and I'm me, because that didn't even cross my mind.
It doesn't.
The uplighting didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, like I would have been like, looks good, and then they would have been like, like it just would have never crossed my mind.
I think
throw that in a purchase
beyond
agreement.
the pictures saying virtually altered is in the description of the picture, which we can type in. Third bedroom, is the sink does not exist in this laundry room, but it is plumbed, so this is what it would look like. Put something in there.
This is so much evidence of how much Shelly has been hurt in her career of stuff going wrong.
This is very true. I mean, we've all had issues where something came up in a contract and you're like, where'd that come from? And it's because, well, I'm going to say, okay, this is something to save somebody. I just had a closing with an agent, a very good agent, and I'm not going to say his name because he didn't do anything wrong, but he put in everything I do, and I'll tell you what I just did with a pre-listing or a listing where I did the inspection prior and how I mean, this is a whole nother thing because I'm doing an event where I'm speaking about doing pre-listing inspections. Sorry. Going back to this listing, he had in his listing the cost to do the foundation repair. It needs foundation repair. He attached that foundation repair information, how much it's going to cost, and said, seller will not do this, but you are going to, as a buyer, this is going to be yours. My buyer's cool. What happened? Appraiser came in, looked at the BLC, that note was still in there, and said, fix it before closing. Because the appraiser saw it. So we have to be careful what's in our listings when the appraiser comes through. So if he had just taken that off, we wouldn't have got caught, but it delayed closing and it had all kinds of issues.
What was the issue, if you don't mind me asking?
Foundation issue, saying it needed piers.
Oh. I was thinking it was just getting wet. That's a little bit
Oh
different.
yeah, no, it needed a pier.
Okay.
And so the appraiser said, no, not until it's fixed. So
good for that appraiser.
Just talking about things that are in your listing, be careful of what the other implications could be that we don't even expect.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I try to be. I don't feel like I'm trying to. Maybe this is going to sound bad, but I don't really care. I think we all understand real application of real estate, if that makes sense, right? And there are 100% things. This is going to sound super bad. I'll probably get in trouble for it. I don't care. I'd just rather be honest. There are things that I will communicate over the phone that I will not communicate in a text or an email. It's the reality of it. Like I would have communicated that in a phone call, not in an email or a text. That's just me personally.
Communicated what?
Because I want to be transparent.
You mean about the foundation part?
Yep, I want to be transparent. I want to convey all information, but I don't want that to happen. What happened with that appraiser? And that's not a knock on the appraiser. Like it's good for
or anybody.
But the buyers were.
The buyer was fine with it and accepted the fact that he would do that after closing, and it was because it was disclosed. The seller did. The list agent did what he should have done, disclosed it to us, and they provided information. The buyer was cool with it, but it got caught during appraisal. So what I'm just saying is, everything we put in our listing can be a detriment if it's not just marketing the house, right? And everything he did I thought was right.
But the seller didn't have to repair it before the closing?
We had to get 2 more quotes and prove whether or not it needed to be done. Actually, the next 2 quotes said it didn't need to be done.
Good, so
it got taken care of, but it was a delay and whatever. So that has nothing to do with putting sinks in the laundry room, but it does have something to do with conveying and what may come as an issue later down the road by conveying fake pictures.
When I think with the Twilight photos, we can get as granular as we want with it. Like people putting in like a hot tub or something. Like when I'm thinking twilight, I'm just thinking darker skies and the windows are lit up like it's nighttime.
Like
I think it's really pretty.
I think it's very pretty, especially with Patrick's listings on Geist when
great.
there's twinkle lights. 100%. I had a listing in Broderpool at 52nd and Kingsley, and the backyard was fantastic, and they had twinkle lights going out throughout the backyard, and we did that, and it's sitting at the closing table. The buyer said that was the photo that got me to want to buy this house.
Yeah, because they can picture themselves like romanticizing.
Fire pit was on, all the twinkle lights, chairs around it. They're like, that's the photo that caught my attention.
It's weird. So, but to that point, like I think we talked about this before, the consumer has become so educated in a good way. This is all good for agents and everything, but dialogues need to change, right? Because right now, I have we have a great house. It's sitting on the market a little bit. By the way, that means 2 weeks, right? But it's like, what's wrong with our house? Nothing. Average days on market is like 60. It is what it is. And it's like, how do you, like, we do everything ahead of time, like the same as you guys, to like make sure we hit the market correctly. Consumers are the most educated they've ever been with the discernment they can have. And we were talking about this in our team meeting. I talked about this before we started this. Consumers are just not excited, right? And they'll walk into a house, and it can be an amazing house, right? Because you have one that you were talking about, absolutely gorgeous house, and people are like, that's a good house. Yeah, like there's just no excitement, and I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's a consumption because of social media. I don't know if it's an economy. I don't know if it's a society. I don't know what it is. I don't really care what's causing it. I just notice it. And you have to list correct from the jump. And even then, that's just your baseline and doesn't guarantee anything. Because I've got good houses sitting.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Economy, social media, time of year. Like there's a lot of factors I think that are going into the fact that a lot of these beautiful homes are sitting. Yeah. And one thing that I hate is that everyone's like, if you're not selling, it's priced too high. That's not true.
I think that's total shit.
I think the buyer pool is a lot smaller, especially this time of year. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the comps, even from the last few months, like I know I'm priced right. Mm-hmm. I just don't have the buyers yet.
So, and to that point, like there is we'll call it 5 or 10% that is overpriced and needs to be dropped, right? Like that's that. But that's not what's going on here, because otherwise people will be writing lowball offers, right? Like, hey, we like your house, but not at this price.
They're not even writing right.
They're not even writing. Mm-hmm. And I think that argument is a 15-year-old argument from real estate agents who don't have a way to say it just hasn't sold yet.
You guys didn't see the graph more than likely from when you started. There was a really graph that went in your listing presentations and everything that said no showings, 2 weeks, bad price. No 10 showings, no offers, bad price. All of these, here's what happens if bad price. And there was just something I saw, one of the top trainers in the United States, he had it, and but it's gotten bigger. All these different reasons why you're not showing, if price, all this stuff. But he's still saying price with graphs, no showings, no offers, all this stuff. So
here's the problem. It's old information being conveyed as it's new information when we've had 5 different markets since then, right? Like, like it was true then. That doesn't mean it's true now, because I don't see price in this. It's going to happen. It's already starting to happen. Same thing that happened last year, cascading prices. People will drop prices. It won't increase showings. It won't increase offers. And it's an easier conversation for me to tell you it's your pricing problem, not me having a patience conversation, right? Because it looks like I'm doing something again to help you sell the house. And I just think it's a disservice to our clients. And I think we've all met agents who are like that, and they're like, dropping the price. Like, I just think it's a cop-out because it requires no thought process. And I can just blanket apply to every single property all of a sudden and answer, and then I get to take no accountability for it.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with setting that expectation up front, too.
Yeah, right? And
I am not going into, I don't care if it's in West Carmel and it's an 850 and it's a showstopper. Like, I am not telling any of my sellers, I'm gonna have this sold in the weekend.
Yeah.
let's
Average
say
days on
Cole-
market in Carmel right now for sales is 2 months.
I don't know about you guys, but I've seen more showings in week 2 than week 1
Yes.
because people want to avoid
Multiple offers and
multiple
stuff.
offers.
Or just waiting to kind of see what happens.
Well, like we talked about before we started, the buyers right now that are buying, they have to buy. There's no just casual buyers out there.
No.
Not right now.
No.
The ones that have to buy have to buy.
No, because the
right?
interest rates are still really bothering people. They're really bothering people. We've been told for a year they're going to go below 5 or below 6, below 6.
We got so close.
And we did. Well, I think we hit 5.9 maybe for 30 minutes. But the whole thing is I think that's where buyers are like, I don't know. I'm going to have to find the best house that is perfect for me at this interest rate.
So what's crazy then is like everybody's holding off, and the best time to buy a house is
when no one
now
else is
to
buying.
December right now.
Well, or when no one else is buying too.
Yeah.
Right?
On top of that, when the rates go down, prices go up.
Well, that's the thing. I think us as an industry, we haven't done a good enough job about relaying that, continuing to just build that into our consumers' minds. Like, if you wait for interest rates to get with a 5 in front of it, we're going to add
multiple offers.
4 million more buyers into the market once there's a 5 in front of it.
Right, and multiple offers, and you're going to pay $20,000 more for the house that you could buy today. But I wanted to ask you guys questions you thought, though. No lowball offers coming in. I think we got into a problem where everybody and agents, most of the agents, so many of the agents in the market today started in 21 or 22. That lowball offers were just never even something you would think of. So it's like the older agents more in the market prior to 2020 that know you can lowball and see what happens. I mean, all they can do is counter. But I don't think any agents out there of the 80% potentially that even have the balls to do it. And I think
you can
that's
lowball
why.
week 1. Sellers just aren't prepared for it.
No, and neither are some of the listing agents.
I was going to say, because the listing agent didn't do any preparation of telling you.
It bit me in the ass this year on one, and I'm just like, oh man, I should have taken that. You know what I mean?
But you don't know the first week. You don't know anything.
Yeah. Looking back, it was a poor decision. You know, and it is what it is, and it'll be fine. But, and that's like with us doing this every single I'm up there with as educated you can be on the pulse of the market, and I still make a mistake. You know what I mean? Like it's just not possible to be perfect in this industry. I don't know. It's really interesting. Like I just think like all the stuff that's happening in the market, and like now that school's back, we have a different buyer pool all of a sudden, literally within the next week or two, I would say, right? And like we'll see what happens, but that buyer pool is even more interesting because they're educated enough to be patient in the first place to wait through the summer, right? So like it's going to be an interesting kind of like little grind to December. I have a feeling it'll be just like last year though, where January happens, and I think oddly enough, I think the midterm election matters this year, which I wouldn't ordinarily say that, but like it just seems like it would.
I think what I'm hearing through the grapevine and through a lot of agents, an event I spoke at last week, agents are concerned. Agents are feeling this pullback, feeling this slowdown. Just literally, their words are, "What's happening?"
I have a buddy who works at a jewelry place, and he said he has had more agents apply for jobs this year than ever before.
Agents
Super
looking for a
interesting.
second income,
job.
or ways to get through the market. Well, and the other conversation has been that NAR has saying, well, we watched Buffini last week here in the office, the Buffini thing.
I didn't get to watch it.
And his stats were that the most amount of agents have left the business in the past year than ever, and that they expect it to just continually to decline.
Man, we never get that correct answer, though.
Well, not here, not locally.
Not a knock on them. I just think
Right.
it's hard to, with the attrition, I just think it kind of tends to equal out, so it's not a big deal. But
well, they said more agents are leaving than coming in, too. That's all the kind of stats is. As we say, it's always,
But I love that.
Clear
I love
the
that
herd.
agents are leaving and not many are coming in.
I
It's going to
personally
leave
love it,
the
too.
agents like us that really work hard for our clients.
Take pride in the
Take
craft.
pride in the craft, exactly, and
care,
care,
to
right?
do.
Versus,
Yeah.
no disrespect to the agents that came on during COVID that just were like, oh, I know I can make a ton of money because I just got to put a sign in the yard and it's sold. But like, they now have to actually work, and like you have to market your property. You have to have those uncomfortable conversations ahead of time with sellers and even buyers, right? So it's like, let's kind of weed some of them out and let the ones that really care about our craft be the ones that are going to be.
I think it'll be an interesting decade in our industry because we historically have an older demographic of agents as well.
Do you know what the average is?
Man, it's like 60, isn't it?
Buffini also said this. I took so many notes about what he said, but average agent right now is 57 female. So that's like me.
Yeah.
57-year-old females that have been in the business for at least 10 years. That's the agent right now. And they say it's more females than males.
I'd be interested to know, like, of those, like, 60-year-old plus, though, like, how much volume are they actually doing? How many houses are they selling? Like, I get it, there's Biff and, there's Summit, but I don't know. I don't.
How many are
I
just
don't come
kind of
across a lot of 60-year-old plus agents on the sides that I'm doing.
I'd have to think about that. More than I would expect, but absolutely now that you say it, like it's less than half.
It'd be interesting
sure.
to see the Indianapolis market. That was a national, obviously, stat, but.
Well, I do think this is, especially in more like East Coast, West Coast. I think this is probably a younger game, if that makes sense, because it would be. I mean, you got to think how much we drive and how much we're out. Could you imagine being in the city dealing with that headache? Oh, it'd be horrible, right? So I can definitely see that being a thing for sure. But I don't know, man. It's just interesting when I kind of think about it, and the industry is going to be fine. I'm not worried about it with AI, with the new appraisal stuff, with
we need to talk about that
changing.
real quick so everybody knows. Just another reminder of this appraisal change that's happening and implemented no later than November 1st. If we did have an appraiser on that talked about this, if you want to go back to try and find that episode. But the thing about it is as agents, listing agents and buyer's agents, what it's saying that potentially is going to happen is our closings are going to go to 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks. So as a listing agent and a buyer's agent, make sure your purchase agreements are there and you don't have people with moving trucks coming and they're not going to be able to do that. And lenders need to know about it as well. But the other part of it is just knowing that your buyers who may be, pulling every dollar they can to get ready to close are going to have another $200 to $300 cost for that appraisal now. So just more fees to close. So just be prepared for this new implementation. Some have already started with it, but that would be something when you're, as a listing agent, getting an offer and you see it, they're saying, here, I'm going to close in 3 weeks. Just be careful because, we set our sellers up for being ready to move and our buyers ready to move, and that closing date changes. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys are putting PAs together, are you talking with the lender about when can you close this, or are you just saying,
don't yet. Not yet. I haven't.
I think that's something that's going to have to be implemented because,
Well, you got to make sure the lender knows about it. The lender I talked to this morning said he hadn't even been told about it. So he called his appraiser and was like, yep, it's happening. And he's like, so when they're our front line, I think they should be hearing about it before us. We just happen to be having the appraiser on the podcast and talking about it. But there's a lot more to know. I mean, I'm just at the very top of the tipper of what people need to know. But main thing is more costs and a longer time to close.
Top of the tipberg. That's what you said.
Top of the iceberg?
That's what I heard.
Top of the tip
That's
of the
what
iceberg.
I heard.
Tip of the iceberg is what
I knew
I
what you
really
were
meant.
saying. Top of the tipberg. Sounds like something I'd say. No, I agree.
You knew what I meant.
My LO is aware of it, but I think it will be a slow trickle. It will happen once. We'll start to talk about it, and then we'll acclimate quickly. I don't anticipate this massive.
Just be prepared.
Yeah, I think everybody will be like, oh, it started, and then we'll just start to adjust. When Andy was on here, we do a bunch of stuff up in Kokomo. Kokomo is a totally different market, right? Up there, it is basically expected for the most part, 30-day closing, 30-day post-possession closing.
That's the way.
It's just
Southern
norm.
Indiana too. Southern Indiana does the same thing.
But you think how many headaches you've run into in the past couple of years.
Is the buyer usually getting $200 a month or anything? It's just free possession.
Yeah, because the next person needs it too, right? So it's
so if you do this up there, do you come in as a city folk and go, I don't think so?
They don't like us up there. I mean, I'll just be real, because, and I love them up there. But it is very much they don't want us up in that market to a certain extent, and we're not, there's plenty of business for everybody.
I ran into the same thing in South when I was doing a lot of stuff in Brown County. Same thing. I was like, this is so different. It's an hour drive south, and it's so different.
And I don't want to. The problem is, like, I got to be very careful. I'm not trying to be disparaging because everything.
No, it's just different.
Everything works smoothly and is perfectly fine up there, but the level of professionalism down here that is expected to, as a baseline, to be a average performer, I would say it, down in this industry is totally different. Like I get it up here, well, I say up here, but I'm talking about a place north. But here in Indy, I get people who don't answer phone calls, don't communicate well, but it tends to be more of the rarity than anything. And up there, I really struggle with like getting just callbacks, right? Like, I mean, it's just an absolute thing. And like we've just historically kind of struggled with communication up there, whereas down here communication is such a massive issue.
Why do you think it is so?
I think it's just pace of living. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Which is why people move up there.
Which is why people move up there, right? But down here, like if I didn't give somebody a call back in 6 hours, I've had 3 additional phone calls on it since then, right? Whereas like up there, it's like, yeah, no, I know you called. I didn't have the answer yet, and I'll call you back. Like here, we call back just to tell you we don't have the answer, and that will get it for you. And like I just think some of that stuff is just, it's just a way of life. I don't think there's anything wrong with it by no means. But
have you ever lived in an area like that? And
I'm from
I grew
Martinsville.
Up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I grew up on a farm of 200 in the whole town. That living it exists. My daughter's family's from Mississippi, going down there, that is a lifestyle. Yeah. It's just a lifestyle, and the lifestyle doesn't exist as much here as it does around us. Yeah. And you just have to acclimate where you move to work.
I think if my dad would have been a client of mine, right? So thank goodness, that sounds weird to say, but like he passed away, and then I ended up having to sell the house or whatever. But my dad had a cell phone for 15 years, and he would call you and then power it off. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what this thing is for. Yeah. And he'd be like, why? It's so I can get a hold of you. I need to. I was like, well, what if I want to get a hold of you back? And he's like, well, like I'll just get with you when I call you back. And like it's just such a different mindset. And it was like infuriating. I'm like, hey, what if there's an emergency? He's like, well, what am I going to do? I'm not an EMS. Like I'll find out about it's beautiful. But like if I was the agent and I was like, hey, I got an offer for you. Like, what am I supposed to do there? And I just think it was just a different way of living, and I miss it to a certain extent, right? But at the same time, like when it comes to this job in this industry, like it is consumption of information constantly.
So do sellers in Kokomo usually take longer to get their houses ready? And
no.
Because it's just a slower moving.
It's really just a communication thing. That's it. It's really only the only place I notice it is with communication. It's just there's like a half step in between. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they like balk in the middle of it or something like that. So, but I mean, we've acclimated it to it and everything. And the reality of it is as Indy grows, like I hate to say this, but they will lose that battle. Right, because progress will just continue to move north, and like people who aren't performing at that level the consumer will change that because somebody else will call back right away, and by the time the other agent calls back, they've already picked a different agent because of communication.
Oh yeah, well that's true here. Yeah. I mean that's true everywhere. True like your response time needs to be within 3 to 5 minutes, or they've moved on. Yeah. Everywhere, but it will change too when ERMLS becomes part of my board. Not becomes part of, but when we connect. Like we've already have Northside.
I love that you call it that.
That's what it's called.
It is. So actually, everybody calls it IRMLS. I call it ERMLS, and so now
you probably made me start saying ERMLS
because IRMLS is a mouthful. Just call it ERMLS, and like,
it's ERMLS.
I'm starting a movement to change it.
Well, you probably made me say that, but I'm just saying, as they keep saying, we're going to get a statewide MLS, and we're all able to reach out to each other. There's going to be more coming out to those areas farther that we aren't part of now.
And I think we're. Like it or not, from what I hear, like we're going to be combining systems. So
yeah, well, there's so much coming down the pike that I think our industry is changing much more rapidly now as years go by than when I started in 2008. Things just kind of I don't remember. I wasn't probably as involved. Right now I'm involved in my board and doing all different stuff. I don't remember so many changes constantly happening as they are now. And agents need to be up
More
to date with
educated.
what's going on and stay in tune. And the only way they can do that is obviously production, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're not in production and you're selling 2 a year, you are not going to hear the multiple changes that just happened.
So coming back to AI, I don't want to get you in trouble if you don't want to answer this.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So AI, and I have dealt with it with some newer agents. We looked at it, and we kind of have a system that we use to kind of like behind the scenes streamline some stuff. But I know people who are using it as fact basis, using AI to comp houses, and I hate to bring this one up, inspection responses, right? And like I have a lot of concerns there, but there's other people who love it because it makes life easier and it takes away liability.
I would
and-
never-
It takes away the workload,
Yeah.
and that's not what you should be doing.
Well, I would never use it from a comp standpoint.
Me
'cause It's
neither.
kind of just like a Zestimate. Like Zillow's never been in the house. AI has never been in the house. So who knows? AI doesn't know if they put a $80,000 kitchen in.
It also,
You know,
what
you
it
can
does
never
is,
do that.
our experience was, it'll leave a neighborhood when it doesn't have to, right? It will, it'll start wide and come in instead of start small and go out, right? There's a way to use it to help. What's the best word for it? Like kind of like spot check, I guess, if
Yeah.
that makes
It's
sense.
a starting point.
Correct.
Give me a good starting point.
Yes, so you can
Or a
use it for
checker
that.
after you've already done your job.
100%.
Yeah, in case you missed something or whatever, but it hasn't seen the property, so it doesn't know fit or finish or any of these other things. It doesn't know trends. It doesn't know, well, it actually does know trends if you tell it. You can tell it what the market is currently doing. So there's some
Yeah, but
interesting
wait a
stuff
minute.
it
That
does
gets
well
to
at.
whether or not the agent knows what the market's doing.
Yeah, but I agree.
Because
I
if you're
agree.
inputting information as an agent from what you think you know, just from what you think you know, instead of actually having stats to back you up, then you're telling the AI what it is hearing from you, who you may be wrong.
And in that amount of time with that much information, I could just do it myself.
But yeah, but could
That's
you
what we're
imagine-
paid for.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, could you imagine going and sitting down with the seller and saying, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I went to ChatGPT and this is what it's telling me your house is worth." No, that's like going to your doctor and the doctor coming in and saying, "Hey, check ChatGPT and they said this is what I should do to your leg."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
have
I'll
you-
sew you up.
But right, so it's
Yeah.
like I mean, listen, we get paid good money, right? Like we have to show our value, and I'm never going to become an agent that's going to rely solely on AI.
That removes my value.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not doing it. Like that's just the personal. I think the agents that are the most successful are the ones that are really, involved and engraved into their clients, and like they go the extra mile.
Yeah.
And they're not just coming in and saying when can I put a sign in the yard, and they throw it on the MLS and they wait for an offer to come in.
You know what that's called?
Discount brokers.
No. Well, maybe. Practicing the 3 Ps. Have you ever heard that?
I haven't.
So practice. I always say this I'm sorry, I'm not an agent that practices the 3 Ps. Let me tell you what that is. You put the house, place the sign in the yard, put the house on the MLS, and pray it sells.
Yeah.
And that was a big saying back in the days, is practicing the 3 Ps, because agents would just come in and go, oh, yep, here's a sign, and here, let's go, and I hope it sells.
I mean, those days are long gone.
They are.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Yeah.
But what are we doing? Are we trying to improve our lives and our abilities, or are we getting lazy? And like I think you have to be able to be honest and look at it, and like I think there's sometimes we're improving, and I think sometimes we're getting lazy, and I'm always going to try to work harder, not lazier.
I think lazy. I don't know if that's the
Lazy is
right
probably not
term.
the good
I
word.
think what agents are trying to do with AI is become more efficient.
Yeah.
Versus lazy.
Lazy is not the right word.
Lazy's
I
not the
agree.
right. I think they're hoping they could be more efficient by using AI to do certain things, like we were talking.
But they're
about.
becoming less technically sound.
I agree with that, and they're like, now that Claude's coming into play, and I mean, you look on TikTok, you can follow all these different ways that Claude can help increase your business, this, that, and the other, and it's great because it could potentially bring you more leads or just make you more efficient. But at the end of the day, it's a relationship business.
Absolutely.
We got to be out having coffees with potential customers, with just doing follow-ups every single day, like doing the right marketing. That's what.
I mean, you can buy off Temu or Amazon. Like, you're still gonna get the shirt. It just may be the wrong size. You know what I mean? Like,
or it might,
or it might
take 6 months.
it shrinks when you get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird topic because like I feel like I'm a little bit of a dissenter on this stuff, and people are trying to help our industry, and I don't want to be like ungrateful for the help people are trying to do, or that people are trying to be innovative, because like I'm a big believer in all of that stuff. But don't tell me that every single thing's a home run, right? And I think that's what I'm struggling with.
I think what we have as well is we are being bombarded, social media, webinars, title companies. Everybody is saying, come to our event. We want to teach you AI. It's like it's telling every agent, you better be using AI. Yeah. Whereas you have to think about it, whether or not it's going to help you or not. But I think I'm in my business at this point where I don't want to learn any of that. I would love to see if I could figure out how it could help me a little bit. But I've been doing this long enough. The way I've been doing it, I don't need AI.
You seem to be okay.
And you've built solid relationships. Like, do you honestly think that Biff, Matt McLaughlin, any of them are ever going to use AI themselves?
No.
And are they going to continue to do $80+ million a year?
In half a year.
Exactly, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you build relationships like they've been able to build, like you guys are developing, like I've been developing, I don't need to bring all this AI stuff into it.
But people tell me, if they want to tell you, if I do it, I can become them. But that's not how they became them.
Correct.
It just doesn't
But
make
the other
sense.
thing, too, about that is if you do all that AI, your business, I have a feeling, is not going to be growing. It's going to get less because you don't have a personal relationship with them
Which
anymore.
means I'm replaceable.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't want to have an AI bot replying to my
Could you
buyers
imagine?
and sellers. No,
I always said that
because
because the people that try to sell it to me or make me use it, it's like I couldn't imagine. First of all, I said, okay, well, it has to come to me first before you send it out because I need to make sure it's okay. Well, that's a waste of time for me to read that. But could you imagine if you just ran into them in the grocery store and they're like, oh my God, it's so great to see you. We're thinking about buying and selling, blah, blah, blah. And you have that conversation and the bot sends out, hey, how have you been? Wanted to see how we could check in and see how things are. I'm like, fuck, I just saw them.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't know what's going on in your business to just have this automated AI stuff going on.
AI is one thing, but how many deals have you had where you've gone under contract with another agent and then their admin is the only person you talk to through the rest of the trends? I don't even like that.
No.
Like it rubs me the wrong way.
What about the agents that turn their inspection over to somebody else? That kills me. I have.
I've seen that once, and it's just.
But you get to the inspection response with AI. There is some inspection response programs now where it'll just read the inspection response and spit out and tell you what you should ask for. And then they say, just send that to your buyer and say, here's what we're going to ask for. That scares me.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that at all.
So we set it up through ours where I do all of mine just personally because it's not that big of a lift. But
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I do too. But
I don't mind it.
What we can do is we can put it into AI, and it puts it in a very concise, digestible manner that we can pre-send to our clients, that we can then discuss the synopsis for them to a certain extent. That does have everything, and it's a reference point for them. It is not a decision-making process.
Aren't you guys having conversations with your buyers, like at the inspection, as far as before you leave the inspection? Like, this is
I go to
probably
every
what
inspection.
Right, so do I. If my clients are somewhere, I'm there. Like, that's kind of my rule of thumb. Like, if my clients are there, I'm there, no matter what it is, right? But like, by the time we leave the inspection, we already have a good idea as to what we're going to look further into or just what we're going to be asking for. So that's why I don't need AI to like tell me what I should ask for to be done.
I think people are afraid of the wording and all this other stuff, and like I don't know.
Or just think about it. If AI spits out a 4-page document, that's going to freak the buyers out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather just have a one-on-one conversation. Let's together figure out what is most important, and a lot also depends on what you ask for per the purchase agreement. If
we
you
got
the
one
cap
like that,
and all that stuff. Like,
and it took me forever to go through it. We agreed to 6 things. It closes on Friday. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? And I got sent 60 things.
I try and keep my inspection responses to, I don't want to do an addendum.
I don't want to do it.
I try and do whatever I can to keep it on one page. Yeah. But that's also just a psychological thing, I think, for the list agent. Like, if I get an inspection
bad.
response and there's 2 attachments, I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, the one I got, it was 4 pages.
Yeah.
Oh, I would.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there's the houses like that sometimes. I just had to write one like that. I literally was kind of mad because, like I said, I'm so into pre-listing inspections to not put anybody through the mess that I just went through on that one. And I just said to the listing agent, I'm like, this is a huge disservice to all of us that your seller, these are things they knew. Yeah. This is so many things in here they knew. And you just put it on them and didn't disclose anything, didn't do that. Just for us to find all this, I mean, some things listing agents and sellers need to do to prepare the house, get it ready. I know we talk about how we don't just throw a house on the market in a week. We get a house ready. Yeah. But if sellers know this, that's why I do pre-listing inspections can save a deal and save the money for the seller, because then the buyer is now in control of giving you, quotes that are maybe higher than what, the seller doesn't even have any quote yet in front of them. Whereas now we have quotes in front of us and we've already disclosed it. So now the buyer knows already that it's there, can determine if they want to buy the house with that issue or talk about it up front.
What kind of houses are you doing the pre-listing inspections? Is there
everyone?
Even a house was built in 1932 in Broderpool.
Well, that would be the first one I would do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just saying, because you got to disclose everything.
You disclose everything that you just found out, or you fix it.
All right.
Because if I have a pre-inspection on a 1932 home and I come up with literally 12 major defects, the buyer's going to come up with them too. Yep. Why don't we get rid of those or disclose them, one or the other? But to have a surprise, and what I tell my listing or my sellers is, you're not going to be surprised in 2 weeks of, oh my God, after the purchase agreement's been signed and everybody's accepted and we hope we're going towards closing, and now the buyers are like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. You fix it. And the seller is like, I had no idea. That's a whole uncomfortable process. Whereas if the seller is aware of what's going on and has fixed major items or disclosed it, it's not uncomfortable when the buyer comes in the picture.
Yeah, I get that.
It makes sense. I've flip-flopped on it. I had a client send me one, and they're like, why is this house so cheap? It doesn't make sense. They looked on it on like a consumer-facing website. I pulled it up. I mean, there was an inspection uploaded. It was just toast. I mean, there was mold. The crawl space was wet, like all this other stuff. The client or the agent uploaded it all. There was notes about it. It was all, and I just conveyed it to the consumer. And the consumer's like, oh, that makes sense now. Cool, we'll keep moving along. Versus me going to go look at this thing and be like, oh, this is a turd, or whatever it was, because it was like 180 underpriced, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. We go through the stats real quick. We go on this stuff forever because I know you got some questions too. Like we got a hard stop and stuff, and so I try to I want people to get better. I don't need to tell people how to do this job either, right? Like I want people to find their happy place so that they are the best version of themselves and not just another version of me, you, or you, if that makes sense. So,
God forbid there's two of me out there.
Oh gosh.
Well, there's kind of two of me out there. I've got with my identical twin brother.
That's crazy. That's all.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Named Brian.
I didn't know that. What does he do?
Ryan and Brian. He's in commercial real estate.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Your parents did Ryan and Brian?
Well, I was born in the 70s. Yeah. My mom was doing other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, close enough. Yeah. If I missay one of them, I'll be like, you know what I meant, right? So.
I'm just thinking you're at the other end of the house and you're both like, what? Because you couldn't understand what they said between Brian and Ryan.
We growing up in high school and college, nobody called us by our first name. It was always just Foxy, right?
Yeah.
But all the time, I always just probably at least once a month, I'm walking through somewhere, downtown Carmel or whatever. Somebody walks by, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I'm like, who are you?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't imagine. Oh, my God, that's horrible. I do that now, and there's no other me walking around.
Do you know Justin Griffith? So he used to be.
Yeah, the one that used to be on the podcast.
He used to be on the podcast. I love it. I mean, dude, he's like 6'7", you know what I mean? Like, very distinct
6'7".
individual. And, dude, he's got a twin brother. And I had no idea. Cause,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and so I ran into his twin brother, because he's got a stepdaughter or daughter that goes where my daughter goes, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he's just looking at me, and I was like, hey, how you doing? And it's just weird. He just had no idea who I was, and I was like, do you have a brother? And he's like, yeah. Just
my son and I were having dinner at Verde in Zionsville a few weeks ago, and a guy walks by and just walked by on the way to the bathroom, just gave me a high five. And Carter was like, who was that? I'm like,
no clue.
No idea. No clue. And then he walked back, and I was going to just get up and say, hey, you probably think I'm Brian. But he actually had stopped and said, hey, don't think you're Brian. You must be Brian. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my
He's like, I'm so
gosh.
sorry. I'm like, dude, it happens monthly.
That would drive me crazy.
That's awesome. Okay, stats real quick. All right, it's weird. The stats don't super kind of reflect what I feel in the market, but whatever. In Fishers, there's 278 on the market, which is actually slightly
That's
down.
a lot. That's down?
It's down from last time I did it at 280.
Okay.
31 hit the market, 23 are still active, so 8 sold in a 7-day period, but 42 sold. So I lost a bunch of inventory. Average days on market is 29, median's 11. But because you brought this up when I was looking at stats, average days on market for actives is 56, which I know it's like almost 2 months, but that's lower than what you're dealing with. I know that. And then in Noblesville, I have 246 on the market, which is the same as last time I did them. 31 went on the market, 26 are still active, so 5 sold within the 7-day period, but 39 pended, right? So like I lost inventory in both places, which is interesting to me. For actives, it's 67 days on market, but the average is 26 and 15 is the median. So I'm losing inventory, which is very interesting, but everything that is selling is kind of stagnant, but we're also gaining so much at a rapid pace. It's almost like you're not selling unless you're like 30 days on the market, regardless almost,
Well, your stats showed what I showed. Your amount that sold in the first 7 days is very low.
Yeah.
It used to be much higher, or very close to the pendings total, right? It was like how many pended was the ones on the 7 days. But so Carmel, 32 hit the market, a total of 12 of those pended, so not, less than half, but 31 pended. So we are seeing sales. That's, trying to say all of this. We are seeing sales. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing doom and gloom. It's just the days on market are longer than everybody's been used to. And like you had said, Ryan, you got to talk to your listing conversations at the listing table is really to set them up for this may be a few months. Yeah. And then if it's not, yay. But so the average days on market for the pendings the past 7 days was 60 in Carmel. It doubled from last week. So we're at 2 months in the past 7 days, whereas in the past 30 days it was 24. So Carmel has seen a huge slowdown of, a whole month.
But that also probably means with that number in particular, a couple of very stagnant properties.
Yeah.
Exactly,
pended, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
and I saw some of those, but still, it's, everybody just needs to know it's not going to sell in that first weekend or the first week. It's going to be a little while. And if I can say it over and over again, when I've been in the business as long as I have, this is a good market in the timeline. It's just weird to feel after what we've just been through.
Well, and that first week is so damn important.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to hit the ground running, and it's got to be. It's not like, oh, well, let's see how it goes for a couple weeks, and then if it doesn't sell, then we'll paint this room or that room.
Oh, yeah, you don't
Like
do
you
that.
don't sell
that
that first week, we're 21 days now.
100%.
Yeah, but as long as you had that conversation when you talk to the seller in the beginning, they're not going to go, what is going on? You told me this, right?
Correct.
So a total of 164 sold in the past 30 days, average days on market of 24. But like I said, the pendings are showing 60. Westfield, 28 hit the market. 10 of those pended, but 37 total pended. So way over, lost inventory there. Average days on market for the past 7 days was 39. The past 7 days, in the past 30 days is 44. But if we look back at Carmel, the actives, they're sitting at 82 average days on market, and that's 3 months roughly. There's 269 active in Westfield with an average days of 73. So then Zionsville, 10 hit the market, 3 pended of those, 11 total pended, so lost inventory in Zionsville. The average days on market in Zionsville now is 36. We never said that in the past. We were saying 4 or 5 all the time.
Well, even Carmel, that's high. Yeah. Market. I mean.
Yeah, they are higher. So if everybody's saying they're feeling what's going on, it's getting a little longer. It is definitely. There's currently 85 in Zionsville on the market, 81 average days on market. So 3 months there as well. So I just want to look at this too. This is what the big numbers were. Is if we look at the stats in Carmel, these are the highest numbers I've ever seen. Expired 9 in Carmel in the past 7 days. So 7 days, 9 expired. We were seeing 1, maybe 2. Back on markets, 7.
In a week.
Pending or price drops, 24. That's a huge jump. And then withdrawals, 4. So the expireds and withdrawals, 9 and 4, that's 13 in just 1 week. those numbers are I think what we really should be looking at is not only what's happening in the days on market, is who's quit.
Yeah.
Who's just said, forget it, I can't sell.
Yeah.
Or they feel like they can't sell. In Westfield, same thing. 6 expired in the past 7 days. 3 weren't back on market. Price drop, 70
70?
in Westfield.
In Westfield, do you know how many of the actives are new construction?
It could have been, and I didn't do those numbers, but
That's a stupid number. 70.
that's what it says on my board this week for past 7 days. Withdrawals 3, so expired 6, withdrawals 3, so 9 in Westfield in 7 days left the market.
There's so much inventory in Westfield. I mean,
It was 269 active right now. But yeah, you can break those down to new builds and not. But these numbers are showing how many are leaving the market right now, and we would see that in October and November, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of standard.
Yeah.
But
Not in the summer.
Was July, August.
Dude, I mean, I've got a perfect house in Westfield. Actually, I have 2 perfect houses in Westfield, and they're just lost in the minutia of all that inventory. It's crazy.
Well, and if you're 5 years or less, it's very difficult to even sell because of the new builds
Yeah.
that you can buy instead at 3.9 or 4.9. Back to, I do have a listing that's having some trouble selling for different reasons, but the fact is we're back to saying, we'll do a 2-1 buy down, or, you've got to start looking at that again potentially. Don't forget that little trick.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Those are crazy. Well, we got a little bit of time. All right, you had questions. I want to hear these questions
no,
too.
I thought, speaking of AI, I got on AI and just thought, what are some cool questions to ask for a real estate podcast? But it's kind of like a lightning round.
Oh boy.
Right?
Okay.
Are you answering it too?
Yeah.
I'll throw it in.
Ooh.
I think I know the answer for this one. Coffee or energy drinks?
Oh, energy drinks.
Energy drinks. I hate coffee.
Buyers or sellers?
Sellers.
Depends on the market.
I've always
I'd say
loved
I'd
sellers.
say sellers
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Open houses or cold calls?
Neither.
Open house. I kind of like open houses. I think it's fun to talk to everybody. I have
like
too much
open
fun.
houses. I just don't do them.
Text or phone call?
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, I would agree with
Okay.
that. Yeah.
CRM or spreadsheet?
Neither.
I'm never a spreadsheet. What do you
Do you
mean?
keep all
That's
your
what I
numbers-
use.
Like, do you keep all
That's
your
me.
Do you use a spreadsheet?
So I do a spreadsheet on like Google Docs
Google
or
Docs,
like
yeah.
Google spreadsheets.
So
Yeah.
all your deals that you guys do, you don't keep it all on a spreadsheet?
Yes, we
It's
do.
all- It's all in dot loop.
Well,
Okay.
that's
No,
why.
dot loop, yeah,
that
but
gets
like,
back to, did
mine's
you
a
hire
very
somebody?
detailed- Mine's a very detailed spreadsheet.
Oh, so is
I've
ours.
got-
I have every year that, like the year of everything we sold, everything she's had since she started. And then we have 3 people on our team. So I have a list of her clients, Jeff's clients, Connor's clients. Then we have a list of just the emails with the names who they're associated with, address, emails, like phone number of people. Like I have probably 50 different spreadsheets of something different.
I keep spreadsheets, and it's, if I were to lose mine, because I mean it's everything from, is it a buy or sell, the month, the client, the address, list price, sale price, commission, who was the agent on the other side of the deal, when it closed, all that stuff.
Do you put that in your phone by chance? In my phone, I have, like, if I have an agent that if I got a pending going with you, I'll put the address in my subject. So, like, 2 years from now, I'm like, oh, yeah, we sold 123 Main Street together.
But I can just pull all that stuff. I just do it in dot loop.
See, I don't
Whenever
know.
Yeah,
I
now I'm
need
going
it.
into the years. I'm doing the year thing.
I don't know how to find that in dot loop. I'm not that. All right, biggest negotiation win.
Biggest negotiation win. Like, do you mean on price drop or?
Yeah, that'd be any negotiation. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. That's tough off the top of my head.
I
can't
just
even
know
think of
that one of the things I say about myself is I am a good negotiator to keep the peace in the contract or the contract. We're all working together. I think negotiation is a huge part of, like, not trying to win to negotiate, but to keep the deal together, and that's me.
I like that.
I've negotiated in some pretty interesting things, artwork, vehicle.
We used to do boats all the time.
The lender was cool with that. With
I
a
took it
vehicle?
off of it.
It's
Like
a different.
that.
It's a personal property addendum.
Yeah.
I've done some interesting things there.
We do boats at Sweetwater.
I would say my biggest negotiation probably win is around 250K,
Okay.
something like that. Mm-hmm.
Is that COVID? COVID days?
No. Yeah, no. I got beat out. I mean, I had to pay 200 over on one once. Yeah, during COVID. That one was bananas.
What's your
too.
answer, Ryan?
I mean, we just had to pay 200 over for one in West.
Yeah.
And that's one that's probably what, over 1.5?
Yeah, it was 1.8. We got it for 1.8. It was listed like at 1.6.
And that's where the market's different in these days on market.
Yeah.
If it's over
Luxury
like
market.
1.4, like they're flying off the shelves at
bidding wars,
CAF.
yeah.
Bidding
But
wars,
I got that one before it even hit the market.
Yeah.
So I had to come up. My buyer had to
Make me
give the
move.
sellers a reason to not put it on the open market. It was
Correct.
in Georgia West Clay.
Yeah.
It would have.
It makes
But that's
sense.
what's funny is a $300,000 house is going to sit forever, 500,000. You get to 1.5 and it's going to be like multiple offers.
Because the economy's not.
Doesn't hurt
it's
them.
not hurting the.
It's the one time where cash is king. Yeah.
All right, a couple other little ones. These will be quicker. Most underrated lead source.
Most underrated lead source?
Probably
kids.
your CRM.
Yeah, kids. Okay.
Kids? I just say your CRM, which
Well, like being involved in their stuff.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. One book every agent should read.
I don't read.
Yeah.
Daring greatly.
Okay.
I knew you'd have an answer. What is you? What do you?
What's that one that I read? Never Split the Difference.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Super Attractor is another good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. One habit that changed your business.
Getting sober. That counts.
You did not have a business before then.
Well, no shit. One habit that changed my business.
I think mine is just staying in touch better, just paying attention to staying in touch.
Yeah.
Discipline of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't take days off.
And I don't think this changed because I've always had this mindset, but making sure I'm putting my clients before the paycheck.
Oh yeah, no.
That's
very good.
always
Yeah.
important
That's
for any
huge,
agent.
right?
Any agent, yes.
And then,
But not everybody thinks that way. I take that
no.
for such
Heck no,
granted.
they don't.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Describe today's market in one word.
Tough.
Patient.
What?
I mean, I'm just gonna say challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I basically, who's gonna kick me today?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got some perfectly normal transactions that are just fine, and then just randomly.
And the
you're
ones
like,
you
"What?"
expect to be good, they aren't. I think the
Yeah.
main thing about challenging tough is the constant conversation. People come to you and say, "What do you think is going to happen? What with my listing in this external force around us right now with the world and what's happening and everything else?" I mean, who would have said, okay, we're going to go to war? I mean, I can't, that's not in my repertoire of saying, well, because we're going to go to war in March, we're going to just have this issue and this issue. We have to go straight forward and do what we know how to do with what's handed to us on a daily basis. And we have no idea what it's going to hit us. Not just clients, not just people, but the external forces on this market is the worst thing that I can't figure out how to
Well,
even
it's things that we can't
deal with.
control, right?
So it's
Yeah.
temporary
So
though.
focus on what you can control, and then
Yeah.
everything
And-
else will just fall as it.
And just do it.
as
Just
I
do it.
wish agents were more graceful with each other.
Yeah.
I think we have taken a tone from the broader society, and I do not think we are interacting well enough with each other personally, in my opinion. Just professionally, grace, forgiveness, understanding, all of it. I think it's a problem. And so like you have to be the person to absorb it, but like then that circles back into like it's challenging because like it could be an agent who kicks me today, right? It's just
Well,
tough.
I can't stand the word. Whenever anybody says this, if I'm at an event or whatever, I'm going to say, well, you know, you are competing or that you're a competitor. We are not competitors. In my opinion, absolutely. And I'm getting so
Coworkers.
tired of this whole industry being called competitive or competitors because if we don't work together, we don't get anywhere. So I
100%.
hate that.
That's one thing I pride myself and my business on. Of all the deals that I've done, there's not one agent on there that wouldn't want to do another deal with me. Because I'm not trying to come with problems. I'm coming with solutions, and we're here.
Yeah.
We're all here for the same reason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help my seller sell the house, and you're gonna help your buyer get the house. Like let's.
And if
Solve
something
problems.
comes up, then you just like,
We
hey, we
figure
need
it
to
out.
have this conversation on the side here. What's the problem? How can we work together? Let's not even listen to the buyer and seller right now. What can you and I do?
Get on the phone and just have a conversation.
Right.
A lot of agents are scared to get on the phone with other agents. Like, just
I don't
talk it
think
out.
you know, when you say that, I don't think there's an agent that I've done a deal with that wouldn't want to do a deal with me. There's been a couple where like I didn't handle something well or they didn't, but we circled back and we, you know, apologized or whatever. There, oddly enough, are some agents that I don't want to work with though. If that, I've never done a deal with them or whatever, but I'm like, man,
because you've heard things about them, probably.
I've heard things,
and we don't ever want to be put in that same.
No, yeah, definitely don't want to be in that boat.
No, absolutely not.
Is there anybody, like, without saying that you wouldn't want to do a deal with again? Yeah, I knew she was gonna say that.
He was mean as hell to me.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond mean, to the point where
Recent?
No.
Okay.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you are representing a seller and he brings a buyer, you're going to go tell your seller, like, here's their offer, but just so you know, he's a piece of
What about multiple offer situations?
bottom of the pile.
Correct. Yeah, did send the trash before the pile even starts.
Yeah.
But again, that wouldn't really happen. Here you go.
Yeah.
But let me just tell you what happened on that last deal. But yeah, no, there's actually two. And I don't think that I started the process to make them start that way. It was the first phone call, both times. First phone call. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys, you're two men sitting here. It's because I was a woman, both of them.
I was just thinking if it's that guy because he was mean to me too.
Yes.
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 I'll be honest, I suspected that before you even said it.
Yes.
So,
I will say in our business, if we want to go there, men treat women still, it's like the 1950s. There are just men out there that are like that.
But in a female-dominated industry.
Correct. Yeah.
Just
Watch Katie bar the door because you come across me again. I'm the dominant age group and everything.
My team member Jacob, he had a deal. This is like 2 years ago. And it fell apart for whatever reason. It was a legitimate reason, but the other agent was like drunk, hate texting him at 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
What are we doing? It's funny. Anyways, I appreciate you coming on here, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
so
having
fun
you
to
on
have you
here,
here.
man.
Love it.
If anybody wants to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Just cell 317-701-0526.
All right. We'll have you back on.
Yeah.
I love having you on, man. I'm Kyle Morris with Morris Property Group and FC Tucker, 317-649-5122.
And I'm Shelly Walters, Shelly Walters Realty Group, 317-201-2601.